Hey, what's up guys, welcome to FindGap, and in today's video I'm going to teach you the use reducer hook in React.js. So without any delay, let's start. So first of all, if you notice that I have write the definition of use reducer inside my this component and I have comment this. So first of all, let's just read this. A use reducer is a hook in React that allows you to add a reducer to your component. It takes in the reducer function an initial state as an argument. The use reducer also returns an array of the current state and the dispatch function. So I will do practical, and with practical I will also teach you the meaning of this definition. So first of all, to use the use reducer hook in our application, let me type here import use reducer from React. So you have to import this from React. The simple difference between use state and use reducer is use reducer is used to manage complex state in your application. So if you have simple state like a counter application, like if your state is only containing a string or maybe a small object, then you can use the use state. But if your state have complex logic, for example, before updating your state you have a very complex logic, maybe you want to authenticate the form data or this type of stuff, then the use reducer will be helpful. So you should use reducer in this case. So before starting this video, you must have knowledge about use state hook, because if you are unaware about use state, I would like to recommend you to learn use state hook first, and then please come to this video. So again, first of all, you can see that I have imported the use reducer hook from React, and then you have to type here const, let me type here my state. So this is the state name, you can give any name to this, and the second is we have a dispatch function. So this will be the function that we will use to update our state. Now you have to type here equal to use reducer. Inside this you need to pass two parameters. The first parameter would be initial state. For example, let me define initial state here. Initial state is equal to, I am going to assign an object as an initial state, so I will type age is equal to like 40 comma. So we have to pass the initial state as a second parameter, and the first parameter would be our reducer function. So again, you will, once this video will be completed, you will get to know that what is the purpose of this initial state, why we use dispatch method, and this state and all of this stuff. So last thing is we must have a reducer function. Let me type here reducer is equal to an arrow function. So again, this reducer function will give you two parameters, your current state, or let me type here current state and action. Okay, so we just have make a structure, and now we need to pass this reducer function inside our use reducer. So now, for example, you have a button which says increment. Let me type here, let me cut this, I will create an empty fragment from here, and inside this I will paste this. And now, for example, we have a button which says increment age, and now let's suppose we are displaying our age here. So what I will do, I will simply type here my state dot age. So the initial state that we have provided here is an object which contain a key name age. So this initial state can be get by my state that we define here, and I just type here my state, and as we know that the initial state we define, we assign to this initial state is an object. This object have a key name age, so we are accessing this like this, like my state dot age. So 40 will be printed here. And now we, for example, you want to update this state. In use state, the method was simply state provide you a set state method in the place of dispatch, and you only call this function to update your state. But in the reducer we have a more advantage, is we can define our logic, that what logic should be implemented before updating the state. So let me show you. For example, if I say on click, there will be a callback function like this, and we need to call this function dispatch. Okay, dispatch. Inside this let me type here method is equal to increase. Okay, and now once we will call this dispatch method, this object can be accessed within the action parameter inside our reducer function. So before updating the function, we can write our logic to update our state inside the reducer function. So let me type here if action dot method, as we pass an object here, so I need to type here action dot method is equal to, let me copy this string and paste here, increase. So if the action method is increase, what you need to do, you need to return the new state. For example, I will age, and let me show you that how you can access the previous state. Your previous state will exist inside this parameter. So you will type current state dot age. So previous state was 40, and for example let me plus 1 here, and now our this state will be updated, and again our component will be re-rendered. So friends, this was the method. Now first of all, let me run the application, then I will again teach you these concepts, then I will repeat these concepts again so you can understand more in a more better way. So let me type here npm run and dev. I will press enter and I need to open this. So yes, first of all we need to do one more thing. Here I will import the app.css / and semicolon. So now you can see that CSS is applied on it. Let me zoom in this a little bit, and from here I will remove this div because we don't need this. Okay, so now we have a button and the default state that we provided. Now let me click on increment age, so you can see that our state is incremented by 1. So for example, if you want to define a logic here, like let me type here throw not new but error and unknown method. For example, if user's actions have method does not contain this value. So for example, you want to throw an error, so this is how you can write this. Let me run the application. I will right click, inspect and console, and now once I will click on this, you will see an error here. Let me click on it. Okay, we need to refresh, and we also need to pass something else. For example, let me cut this increase and decrease. I have passed my method to decrease. Now let me refresh. I will clear the console. Let me zoom in my console a little bit, and now if I click on increment age, you can see that uncaught error unknown method. Okay, so this is the same spelling that I have typed here. So again, if I will type the right method, and now if I will try to increment this, you can see that it will work fine. For example, if you want to increment by 5, so you can also do that. So now once I will click on it, you can see that the state is updated by 5. So each and every logic before updating your state you can define inside the reducer function. So now again we will read this definition, which is a use reducer is a hook in React that allows you to add a reducer to your component. So you can see that we have added a reducer to our component, so we can implement our logic before updating our state. So this is our updated state. It takes in the reducer function and an initial state. So you can see that it is taking a reducer function that we define here. It is taking this as a parameter, and an initial state that we define here. It is also taking that initial state as argument. So you can see that it is taking the reducer and initial state as an argument, and the use reducer also returns an array of the current state and the dispatch function. So you can see that it is returning us the array. This hook is returning us the array, and we are array of current state. So you can see that we are getting this current state and a method dispatch method. So dispatch method again is used to update our state. So friends, this was the concept of use reducer hook in React. I hope that this video will be helpful for you. If you have any question, you can ask us in the comment section. We will try to answer your question, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for our regular videos. And finally, thanks for watching.